Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be talking about why I got my motorcycle license and why did I started riding. And if you're watching this, you're probably either considering to ride a motorcycle or you're currently riding a motorcycle and you're thinking, why are you doing it? Or maybe you're just considering and just exploring your options. And most likely the reasons why you are riding a motorcycle would be because of, firstly, you love it, secondly, because of the convenience that it brings, or thirdly, you just like to live life on the edge. And if you're not riding already and you're still considering, then what is likely stopping you would be either one, the prices of the motorcycles. I know that the COE prices are rocket high right now, and it's quite insane because at a peak of $12,000 you could be buying 3 brand new motorcycles in other countries. And second reason why people would still be hesitant about riding motorcycle would be because of their family's disapproval, their friends' disapproval, due to the high risk nature of riding a motorcycle because of the danger that it brings about. And in this video, I hope I'll be able to debunk some of the myths and also reaffirm some of the queries that you might have as a viewer and potentially a rider in the future as well. So I definitely hope that it helps you. Okay, in Singapore, the cost of a motorcycle will be ranging above $12,000 because of the COE prices. And in Singapore, the cost of a brand new motorcycle will be ranging around $16,000 to $17,000 and above. The average motorcycles that you see outside will be within the range of $16,000 to maybe $25,000 for an entry-level motorcycle. And I'm referring to the more common ones like your FZ16, your R15, your CB150R, and yeah, the common ones basically. Usually new riders would go for second-hand motorcycles primarily because of the cost and you're buying it at a cheaper price. So usually the range of prices of motorcycles that are on the second-hand market would be based off how many years of COE would they have left, and it can vary really drastically because some of them might have a depreciation of $1,000 a year, some might go up to 1.5, some might go up to 2k a year, and it depends on how much you have on hand and what's your budget and how much can you stomach for in that period of time. So it depends on the years of COE left as well as the condition of the bike. So if the bike is in a poorer condition, then it might be of a cheaper price. So going back to the content for today on why did I ride a motorcycle. So based on my interactions with all the other riders, there's only 3 main reasons why people would want to ride in Singapore. 1, because of the passion and the love for riding. 2, for practical reasons such as going to and fro off to work or other places. And thirdly is because of the convenience. I know that the second and the third point is quite similar, but there's a slight bit of difference right there. So for the first one of having a passion for it, if you have never tried riding a motorcycle before, then I highly encourage you to try it at least once in your lifetime. You don't have to go and get a license for it. If you travel overseas, just go and rent a motorcycle, get someone who knows how to ride a motorcycle, and then just go with it and try sitting on it at least once, and then you will know roughly why people would actually fall in love with riding motorcycles. It's something that I can't really explain through words. People who ride would really understand. Basically all I can say is that it is really liberating, experiencing that the wind brushing off your face, the feeling of you accelerating your motorcycle and all that. It's really a different feeling that you can't get anywhere else, not on a roller coaster, not driving a car. And it really gives a feeling of freedom and liberation, which is something that a lot of people would be looking out for. And I don't really have any other better words to explain for it, but that's how I feel personally. I think that this is something that you never try, you never know, so you should really just go ahead, give it a shot, and then you reconsider your options after that. Don't discount it straight away. And on to the second reason is because of the practicality of a motorcycle. And in Singapore, it is really very practical to have a motorcycle because of the numerous numbers of traffic lights that we have in the country. Every 100 meters you'll be experiencing at least 1 or 2 traffic lights, and by having a motorcycle you are able to cut and split lane through the traffic to get to the front of the queue, so you don't have to queue up like all the cars do and then be waiting all day long. But definitely there's other downsides to it, because when it rains or when it's scorching hot, then technically the motorcyclists will be the ones that are suffering. Well, the other parts of it being practical would be the parking. There are a lot of places that you can park for free. If you have the concessionary pass, you park for free in almost every single HDB car park and URA car park as well. And in terms of the cost wise, because of how a motorcycle is small and light, fuel efficiency is expected and you don't spend as much on petrol as compared to a car if you're traveling from A to B. The only thing that is disturbing would be the COE prices. They are increasing at a tremendous rate, which is something that is really deterring a lot of people from entering into the market. And although there's so much good to it, I also need to say the other side, because when it rains, it gets really very uncomfortable. When it pours, it gets dangerous, it gets uncomfortable, and especially if the weather is bad, extremely bad, like when there's a flood or something, it's definitely not favorable to be riding at all. But of course, you can circumvent that by checking the weather forecast ahead of time, but it's not 100% accurate, so you do take L's at some period of time. So what I would do is to just prepare my raincoat and just brave the rain if I need to. But I try not to ride in the rain, of course, because of how dangerous it is. And if you're looking to find out more about how much does it cost to own a motorcycle in Singapore, I've made a video previously. I'll link it up in this video somewhere. I'll put it down in the description below as well. Do check it out. And if you find that the video so far has been helpful, do drop this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And going down to the third reason of why people would ride motorcycle in Singapore is because of how convenient it is. I think it's really convenient because I can go anywhere I want, and it would take me less than an hour to reach any part of Singapore. And if I were to take 20 minutes to ride there as compared to a public transport journey of 40 to 60 minutes, I get to save another 20 to 40 minutes when I ride, and I can make so much more out of that 20 to 40 minutes that I save on things that actually matters, like working, studying, or doing productive things such as editing this YouTube video also. And often I find that I have to travel from places to places, and it kind of makes sense for me to have a bike because it doesn't make sense for me to grab from one place to another, as it would really increase the cost by a lot, and taking public transport might not be the most optimal way to approach this because I will most likely be late for every single appointment that I have. So then, final point that I would like to say for this video would be, I know that some of you don't consider riding at all, but if you are watching to this point, then I'm really quite surprised. If you're not riding because of family disapproval or if you have a fear of riding, but what I would personally recommend is that just go and get the license first. Just go to a school, get enrolled, go for the experience, try and learn, and then decide afterwards, because once you get the license is yours. You are able to ride anytime that you want to. If you don't give yourself this opportunity to learn and try it out, then the only one that you're lying to is just yourself, because your family can disapprove, you can be afraid and all, but if you don't even give it a shot, then you will never ever know if it's something that you might want to pick it up in the future. Same thing as driving. If you never ever go and learn how to drive, then you will never be able to drive. So I think it's the same thing. So just, if anything, I would recommend to just go and try it out before you decide that nah, this is not for me. And also, I would like to say that it's quite challenging to take the license. So yeah, if you'd like to find out more, click on the video that I'll link it up above about my experience going through my Class 2B journey, and I'll link it down in the description below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.